URC, folks. Sharks against Edinburgh. 1 point finish. I wasn't sure whether to watch this game or not, but I saw the lineups and there were a heap of internationals for both sides, so I figured could be a good watch. Rolled out of bed just after 6:30, and it was a ding-dong battle. I don't really know how the Sharks won that. I guess just key defensive plays. Like, the Sharks won. Am I wrong in saying the Sharks still don't look that good? But that's pretty damning on Edinburgh as well, because they had a heap of chances to win this game. And to be fair, the Sharks missed a bunch of penalties as well, so I don't know. Is either of these sides looking like real URC contenders? Well, the Sharks have put themselves right up on the log, and Edinburgh were kind of teetering. This was a very important game in terms of their position, because they're in 8th as they go into the game. They will surely fall out of it by the end of the round, but yeah, it was a ding-dong battle. The Sharks can thank, I feel like, with the tap tackle, Esterhazy with the kind of defensive play on his own line, Khaleesi holding up Bradbury, some just key defensive plays. Edinburgh will be disappointed to have scored 3 tries to the Sharks 2 and still only walk away with a losing bonus point. They could have had a bonus point win if they'd taken more of their chances, but we'll go through some of the key events and the stats. Stats are going to be a painful reading if you're an Edinburgh fan. But, yeah, you guys can let us know your thoughts on the game. Starts off with Oxenchain putting a huge hoofing kick through. That's worth the price of admission in itself. The big prop got some legs for that kick. Very, very impressive. You don't see that every day, but Ox has certainly got that in the tank. And the Sharks had the early lead when they got a penalty. Good pressure on the kick chase. Esterhazy, who gets man of the match, wins a penalty at the breakdown on Patterson, who's taken the kick, high ball. So 3-0 for the Sharks. It's a good way to start the game because the Hive, the stadium's got cracking atmosphere. It's one where you want to kind of quieten the crowd down. So getting an early lead's important. They tried to extend it when Jordan Hendrickson had a second shot from his own half not too long later, but that one was a miss. And he missed a few. Like, neither side's goal kicking was that flash in this one, to be fair. Fussy, who had a bit of a mixed outing, because he scores one of the tries, but he also has a few errors in this game. Has one of his early errors. He knocks on at his own 22 as the Sharks were trying to kind of play at high tempo. That gives the Edinburgh guys a chance down the Sharks' end, and they finished it off. The James Lang finish in the corner is top-tier stuff. Edinburgh had a bunch of phases. They were over in the right-hand corner, about as corner as you can get. He dives over, athletic finish. Yeah, it's a hell of a try. Misconversion, but Edinburgh in the lead, 5-3. And they might have had a quick-fire double, if not for Lacanio with a sweeping tap tackle. He gets himself yellow carded later on, so mixed as well, but his yellow card was maybe a smart one to take. But anyway, he prevents a potential quick-fire double from Edinburgh, so a bit of desperation. And, yeah, you just had key guys standing like Jamie Ritchie catching high balls above his head. He was also pretty immense in this game as well. Esterhazy winning another penalty at the breakdown as well, so he was also defensively, just really a proper stalwart for the Sharks. Edinburgh opted for touch on 26 minutes after they had a penalty, which was interesting to see them not opt for the threes, and yeah, that paid off because that man Richie, who's involved in a bit of everything, he runs in a kind of nice 1-2 line with Lang out on the right wing, and he's able to kind of finish it off. So yeah, literally involved in a bit of everything. 10-3 Edinburgh, looking, I think, good value for their lead because they've had a heap of ball, they've had a heap of territory, and Fussy kicks it out on the full not too long later. He, at one point, looks down at the ground to make sure he's inside the 22, but he's just stepped outside it, so it's taken back. But the Sharks scrum gets them a penalty not too long later to kind of ease off a little bit of that pressure. And then right towards the end of the first half, Fussy wins a kicking battle with Ross Thompson, which leads to a bit of an attacking line-out opportunity for the Sharks. The Edinburgh guys concede a penalty at the line-out, and the Sharks are able to slot that for a 10-6 halftime scoreline. If you're Edinburgh, I don't think you can be happy with 10-6. I know it's 2 tries to zip, but possession is 70-30, territory 74-26, Run meters is 234 to 76. Clean breaks 3-0. The tackles made is like 28-84. Edinburgh do not have a huge lead to show for all that dominance. Sharks are absolutely still in the game, and they took the lead at the start of the second half. Flying start from the Sharks. With just kind of a wee, pretty simple snipe at the side of the ruck, and Fussy with the support line. He seemed to have hurt himself as he scored the try, but yeah, man, 13 points to 10. Sharks are in front, so if you leave them within touching distance, they are a side that can punish you. And boy, does that come true at the end of the game as well. But yeah, it kind of kicks off some handbags not too long later in this game. I don't think the Edinburgh guys were too happy. Obviously, they're in a more desperate position in terms of the log. But yeah, the Sharks really struggled to deal with a kick through from Ross Thompson. Fussy again. As I said, he had some moments of brilliance, but also some shake your head moments. When Ross Thompson's kick goes through, Fussy just bending down to pick the thing up, just misses the thing clean. I guess the bounce of a rugby ball can be a cruel beast, but yeah, that he just leaves it behind. It looks like it's going to be a proper chance for Edinburgh, but kind of kills it off a wee bit cynically offside. Shuts the thing down, but he gets a yellow card for his troubles. There's some handbags. Edinburgh go through some close range phases against the 14-man Sharks. Sharks concede another penalty. There's more handbags. Eben Etzebeth loses his short, so he's got the bright boxes on display, the yellow boxes, for all to see. Don't know how cold it was in Edinburgh, but colder when you lose your shorts. Both Skinner and Eben Etzebeth see yellow for their scuffle in the handbag, so the referee trying to assert a bit of control on the game because it's the second kind of handbags incident. So we get 14 v 13. And more words for Eben and Skinner as they kind of walk off the pitch, both getting carded. And to be fair, Edinburgh immediately scored from that yellow card. Close range, Price to Ashman. Makes it 17-13. But I feel like the next few minutes is where Edinburgh should have won the game because yellow card period. I mean, they've just scored. So they did take advantage of the yellow card. But it was the first minute of 14 against 13. And then they don't really do much all for the rest of the yellow. If anything, the Sharks have the better of the yellow because they have, a relatively easy shot at goal, which they still push wide, but at least kind of takes some of the yellow card period down. Ritchie conceded a couple of penalties for Edinburgh. The Sharks got the maul going. Edinburgh's maul defence was able to hold. They potentially could have hit the Sharks on the break, but Jack Brown, as he tried to hoof it long into an empty Sharks backfield, it just went out on the full. So, yeah, the Sharks really, did well during that yellow card period. Edinburgh did not capitalise at all. So, yeah, if anything, missed chances for the Sharks with the boot during the yellow card is potentially the story of that one. Ritchie wins a penalty at the breakdown in 63 minutes on Masuku, and you got another kind of game-defining moment. Edinburgh basically get a maul going, and so Khaleesi is able to get himself under Bradbury, so it's held up. No try. That would have been a bonus point, and probably the game if they'd got that one. The Sharks' defence holds the line really well against the on-rushing Edinburgh defenders a wee bit later. Howard Esterhazen stops, I think it was a Cherry. Close range. Unbelievable power from that guy. That's another bonus point and game-saving moment. So much Edinburgh pressure. I mean, Jack Brown gets held up on like 76 minutes. That would have been the bonus point and probably the game. But the Sharks are still in with a sniff. And a 78th minute Edinburgh knock-on is where it all kind of goes to custard for Edinburgh, because from that scrum, the Sharks win a penalty. From that penalty, Masuku, a great touch finder. That's a chance down Edinburgh's end. Edinburgh don't contest the line out. They maul it. The maul does go down, but they go through some phases, the Sharks. Edinburgh go offside. So they've got advantage. Masuku with a wide pass to Mapimpi, who goes over in the corner. We get some more handbags, but Sharks, 18 points to 17, staying in touching distance pretty much the entire game and able to be in front right at the death. Stats. Edinburgh. Possession 61-39. Territory 66-34. Run meters 374 to 220. Clean breaks 8-2. Defenders beaten 23-16. Turnovers 1 5-3. Probably should have won based on all that, but it's only this one stat on the whiteboard which matters. Tackles 151 to 91. The Sharks tackled the house down. As I said, a few key moments keep Edinburgh out. In another game, Edinburgh probably score 4, 5, maybe 6 tries, but not against the Sharks defence. Esterhazen, 4 defenders beaten and 2 turnovers won. Man of the match from him. Buthelezi had 17 tackles. Ritchie had 14 carries. Lang had 4 defenders beaten. But yeah, it's a pretty gutting one for Edinburgh. As I said, in the context of the URC table, that was an important game at home. But for the Sharks, maybe they are a contender, and I'm just doing them dirty on seeing how they go. They just don't seem like the team they've got seems like it should be better than the team we see playing. But anyway, we will see how they go. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. I would love to see it because I've always wanted the Sharks to lift the trophy after all those Super Rugby finals. But the Sharks are away to Ulster next and Edinburgh away to Zebre. You guys let us know your thoughts on the game. Do you think Edinburgh should have won, or is the Sharks defence the key factor? Take care of yourselves and talk to you guys again soon. See you later.